Okay, you speak of this thing like, degrees of disability. How bad can it be and how good can it be along this spectrum?
I'm glad you used the word spectrum, because a lot of people think spectrum goes just only with autism. They've captured the word. But the truth is that we're all different. They have different versions of everything that you see. And so if you put 10 children with cerebral palsy in one room, you won't see 2 of them displaying the same level of being affected by CP. So it can affect your left side.
Okay.
It can affect the right side. It can affect just the lower side. And it can affect the whole body, which will include even the facial muscles. That's where you find some of them, they could look normal when they're calm, but once they try to speak, then you see stress in the face and even the hands.
Because they're struggling to move those muscles.
The brain is functioning. For most people with CP, verbal or non-verbal, the brain is functioning really, really well. They know what they want to do. It's just that the communication of the signal to the limbs or to the part of the body that needs to move is being either interrupted or is not getting there as it's demanded.
Okay.
And
so are you saying this for every CP case?
Yes.
The brain functions well?
For every CP case. What has been shown, not just CP, a lot of disabilities, it has been proven beyond reasonable doubt that every child can learn. It's just that some children learn differently. Some learn slowly. So those people we call idiots, those people we give all kinds of funny names. Unfortunately, they're not at our own level of intelligence yet. And if we don't expose them to education, they will continue to remain further and further down the line. But if what is required for us to come down to their level, find somebody, special education teachers, people who know what to do, who are patient with them, who come down to their level, engage them, and begin to bring them up. And there's so much technology available out there now that a man or a child with no verbal communication can use their eyes, they can use grunts, they can point, and they can use clipboards. There's nothing they can do.
But how do you know that such a child, a non-verbal child, is actually learning? How do they measure the progress?
Because intelligence is in their eyes. You look into their eyes, and it will light up when you communicate with them.
Unfortunately, most parents don't get that close to their CP children because of the stigma, right?
Yes. You see, most parents want to play God. We're created in God's image, right? And we want to create our child in our image. That's why the doctor wants his child to be a doctor, the lawyer wants his child to be a lawyer, and stuff like that. So once they fall short, you hear parents say, I came first in school, and you're not coming first. Look, maybe you had a lot of dull guys in your class. you understand? And now the poor chap is in a class with a lot of brilliant kids, and he's coming 10th or 5th or something. But the issue is, on a grade, what is his IQ?
And so you measure him according to that.
According to that.
Interestingly, you've operated now for almost 5 years, but you don't have a designated center. So what's the philosophy behind that?
Having a child with a disability opens your eyes to a lot of things, especially for somebody like me and my wife who have traveled extensively all over the world. You can't help but wonder, why are things working in a particular way outside Nigeria? And in Nigeria, we're still stuck in the old way of managing disability. And so it hit us that the stigma you talked about is due to lack of knowledge. You see, when the people have no knowledge, they suffer. And so it's about building up knowledge and building up capacity. And the first thing to do is to provide the information, accurate information. So we set out to have an authoritative website. And I can say that as of today, anywhere in the world you check, Benola has more information about cerebral palsy. It's not because we're that intelligent, but it's because we have continued to reach out to those who know. And some of them have just keyed on to what we're doing, and they're making themselves available, and so on. And we look around widely all over the world and everything, we get information. Then the other thing is building capacity. We've built our own capacity, and we're now beginning to help to build capacity for healthcare workers and anybody who do the same thing. And we've seen also that the major problem with a disabled child or in a home with a disabled child is not the child, it's the parents.
So it's attitudinal.
Yes, you need to get into the minds of those parents and let them understand the issues of their child and let them understand that there's nothing negative about it. You see, all these conditions, whether it's cerebral palsy, autism, Down syndrome, and so on, they're not infectious. There's just, you know, some
Is that one of the concerns, that the child will infect them?
Oh, yeah.
Even now in the 21st century?
Not the parents, but neighbors and friends, family.
Okay.
That's why people keep away. You know, when a child drools, you don't know what's in that saliva. When a child suddenly has seizures, oh wow, people are scared, and stuff like that. So these are the things that make taking a child with cerebral palsy out. You see, for the other conditions, the child looks good, maybe a little bit withdrawn, a little bit antisocial, and so on. But you can even show them that he plays music. You can show them he does this. So you find that mothers with autistic kids and other things are beginning to have a field day now with the children.
Because it could be a mathematics whiz.
Yes, but you see, when you talk of cerebral palsy, by the time that child is 8 on average, there are distortions. And if the parents have not been taught on how to care for the child, to keep the child clean, the child salivates, so there's a problem. The child has no proper bowel control, so he passes waste at choice. So at the end of the day, the house could stink, the environment could stink, so people keep away. Now you try to take that child into a bus. Neighbors, I mean, people in the bus are also not comfortable. And these are the issues out there.
But why would a parent carry a child about who would make people go away? You know, your child shouldn't be stinky in public. Well, is it because of that same discomfort of not having a perfect child?
No, you see, cerebral palsy is one of the most expensive childhood disabilities to manage. Apart from the medication, you have to, you know, my son at 21 still uses diapers. Okay, how easy do you find adult diapers?
But that brings me back to the spectrum. I saw some people, you know, and they looked pretty normal. In fact, I walked up to this lady and I said, do you have CP? And she said, yes, I do. I said, I've been looking for it. I can't find it. So, I mean, till now, I'm thinking, what disability does this lady have? So, can we say then that some people with CP can actually go on to live perfectly normal lives, have normal jobs, contribute to society? Can we say that?
Oh, absolutely. You see, when I said it can affect you different areas, I didn't finish. It also affects in different grades, different degrees, from mild to medium to moderate to severe.
Okay, let's go back to that in a minute. We need to go on a short break. Stay with us. This is really getting interesting. We'll see you at the other side of the break.